Hey, YouTube universe! Welcome back to The Naked Truth. Yeah, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you dropping by on a rainy day here at the old homestead, but that's okay. We're going to make ourselves feel better by watching Larry Joe Bird. 30 minutes of his funniest stories. Now, if you've been down the Larry Bird rabbit hole like I've been, you've probably heard the majority, if not all, of these stories, but it's Larry Bird. We could listen to these all day long. So again, it's a pretty lengthy video, 30 minutes. I don't want to make it much longer. So get that like out the way, get that subscription out the way, sit back, relax. Courtesy of Mr. Sports Channel, 30 minutes straight, Larry Bird stories. Let's get to it, kids. Enjoy. We're doing it together.
Larry, you can't jump this high.
Others say he couldn't run.
Slow, he can't get off a shot.
Not athletic.
But what they never said was that Larry Bird couldn't talk.
And I don't think this team could beat our 86 team in Boston.
Well, I can't say the best team ever assembled, but one of the best teams ever assembled.
You could have been a stand-up comedian in another life.
Games were over.
Chuck works for me in the summer. He mows my yard.
This bitch just called me Holmes.
Not with dunks and not with speed, but with words. Larry was the funniest, rudest, most cold-blooded trash talker the NBA has ever seen.
Let me know your funniest, what your best Larry Bird story is down in the comments.
As a guy who thought he was playing defense.
There's so many.
Turns out, he was just part of the script.
So we playing them in the last play. He says to James Worthy, he says, "You guys don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go right over there that corner." He said, "They're going to set a screen for me. We're taking the ball out." He said, "I'm going to curl right over." And he's telling us to play. He's telling us to play before they even take it out. He said, "I'm going to go right over to that corner, and I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to shoot it, and I'm going to tie the game or win the game," whatever the case may be. They take the ball out, and I think it was either Danny or late, great DJ. Take the ball out, the man curled right to the corner, caught the shot, shot a three, game over. It's like, are you effing kidding me?
But if you thought that was rude, let's rewind to Dominique Wilkins, who just wanted a handshake and got a life lesson instead.
And I'm a rookie, and I go up against
classic one.
We small forwards because guys guarded each other back in there. You couldn't duck each other. And so I go shake his hand, and he put both hands behind his back. And I'm saying, okay, he's getting his head ready to play. First play of the game, he says, "I don't know where they got you guarding me, Holmes." And he shoots a three. I was pissed. I said, I wasn't mad he hit the three, but this bitch just called me Holmes. And so it's set up for a really interesting game. Because I remember one time I came down and I dunked it on him. He laying on the ground. He fouled me.
Got you, Larry.
Said, "Hey, Rook." I said, "What?" He said, "What?" He said, "I like you. You got, he said, you got balls, but I'm still going to get 30 on your ass."
And he did.
He got about 38, but I had to pay my dues. I wasn't upset about that because, back then, as a rookie, you got to pay your dues. Simple as that.
But Bird didn't need a game to embarrass you. Sometimes he just needed a room.
I was laughing because I was in the All-Star game with you when you walked in and asked who was going to get second place in the three-point contest. When you walked in there, what were you thinking when you made that announcement to the room? Just messing with all those guys like you always did.
Yeah, I didn't. I had no clue. I never really practiced. Me and Danny used to shoot some before we went out there, but everybody's sitting there. Everybody's real quiet. You really didn't. You knew the guys, but you never were around them. And nobody's really saying anything. So I walk in and look around, and it just came out. I had no clue.
Just quickly, I think that's part of the issue today, right? All of the NBA players, they're all friendly. They all know each other. They all hang out during the season, during the off season, and all this stuff. Back then in the 80s, for those of us that were fortunate to live through this epic era, these people, they didn't like each other. It was true competition. They didn't want to have anything to do with each other, and Larry was the master of that mental psychology. If I can't get an edge on you athletically, I'm going to get my edge on you mentally and then show you skillfully on the court what I can do. Epic.
Gonna win it. I walked in the locker room and the guys were sitting there and, they're nervous. Now, you got to understand that a lot of these guys came off the bench.
Right.
Larry's used to being in front of
folks. They're going to go out there in front of 20,000 people, 46 eyes on them shooting the basketball.
Right.
That's got to be intimidating. For me, I like that because I knew the pressure was on them more than me. I just looked there. I was really just teasing. I looked around and everybody was looking at me. I go, who's coming in second? And nobody said a word. I thought maybe they thought I was joking, but maybe they thought I was serious. But it was really a joke. Well, then I had to go out and win it.
And I'm sitting there with one of my teammates, Leon Wood. It was a great three-point shooter. Larry Bird comes in last. He says, hey, which one of you guys going to come in second? Yeah. And it was just like y'all did right there. It was so quiet. And after that, I said, oh, man, these guys ain't got no chance.
After he fried egos at the three-point contest, Larry decided to target something deeper than pride. Next up is when Isiah Thomas found out Bird doesn't just roast you, he roasts your entire ethnicity.
Our back line at one time was Kelly Tripucka, Bill Lambier, Kim Benson, 3 white dudes.
2 of them I ain't ever heard of.
All right. We walk out on the court, and he said, who guarding me? And I said, well, hey, we both from Indiana, we talking stuff. Me and his mom had a close relationship in college. His mom would write me like notes, was even writing me notes like when I was in the pros, like, good luck, everything else, right? Larry used to always call me Cheesy, right? He's like, Cheesy, who guarded me? And I was like, I got Kelly, I got Lamb, I got Benson. He's like, you ain't got no brothers? He's like you
Disrespecting me.
That's what he said.
Straight up.
That's exactly what he said. He said, hey, man, you can't put no white dude on me. Hey, that is straight disrespect, right? He said, don't put no white dude on me.
Speaking of disrespect, John Sally thought he was playing defense.
Sally tells good stories.
Thought he was
I like Sally.
babysitting.
I like John.
Man, too bad we didn't get you, Sal. I said, yeah, he goes, y'all double me tonight when I get the ball in the wing? I said, nah, man, straight up. He goes, y'all ain't double teaming me?
Like, what's wrong with y'all?
Nah, I got you, dog. You don't like height. He goes, mouse in the house.
And you 6'11".
And they lifted. He walked me down to the post, got the ball. He said, you better ask for a double team, Sal.
Talking to you the whole time.
And he would move at his speed. I don't care how fast you think you are.
Right.
And if you thought he spared the greats, Magic Johnson ran halfway across the court just to hear Larry tell him it was pointless.
So, you DJ coming down, right, with the ball. Oh, great DJ, that's good. So pass it to Larry, he's in that corner. So as you pass to Larry, my first job was to stop you first, right? Now I got to go out and close Larry Bird.
Another quick second. As I listen to these again and again, I just keep running it in my mind that we have to remember all of this is going on with a 24-second clock ticking. It's not as if he can just stand out there, all day for a minute or two and just run his mouth. He's got to get all this in within 24 seconds and then still shoot it in your face. So it makes it more amazing.
So as I'm running out to Larry
He's running
Bird,
out. Just think of that clock ticking, too.
To me. I don't know why you running out here. Who says that in the middle of the game?
Larry Bird.
He said, I'm going to wait till you get one step away from me and I'm going to shoot it right in your face. No, true story. So I got one step away. He shoots it all net. 3-pointer. Good. Then he turned to me and said, you did all that running for nothing.
That's right.
But this is Magic Johnson we're talking about. Surely they were friends, right? Wrong. This was Larry Bird in his no new friends era.
Did you want to be friends with him from the beginning?
From the beginning, I wanted to be friends, but Larry didn't want none of that.
And so, what was your side of that?
Not like one of my old girlfriends, When you say advances, I get a little scared. My thing was when you compete, you're really not friends. You want to keep an edge. And I was like that through high school and through college. But Irvin is an outgoing guy. He loves everybody. He wants to high five and, he got that big smile. My goal was to try to take 3 of them teeth home with me.
Perspective. So now you guys meet the first time in this summer league tournament, whatever it was. The next time is for the NCAA championship. Is that right? What did that? And it was like a 10-point loss. Am I right, Larry?
Well, it was 10 points. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
It felt more like
so
a 20-point loss. But, you know, when you're out there playing and you get started in these games, sometimes you go, uh-oh, these guys are pretty good.
Right.
And I had that feeling at halftime that these guys were too much for us.
Now at the beginning of the game, did you meet Irvin there?
Why? Well, Irvin the man's one thing, but Irvin the basketball player, I had a little problem with him. It ended, of course, 20 years ago, but there for, God, what? Well, I can't really say what I think, but...
Even so, Larry had no soul. He showed love, but not for everyone.
LB, I'm going to let you close, brother.
It's like always, he left me 20 seconds, so... But I just want to congratulate all the inductees tonight. All of them are very well deserving. It's a special honor to play with these young men. After 1992, which was my last game competitive I ever played in, pretty good way to go out, winning a gold medal and playing with, well, I can't say the best team ever assembled, but one of the best teams ever assembled.
86 Celtics. That's what he's referring to.
The cast of characters, the different personalities than Charles Barkley. But we had a lot of fun.
But let's rewind to something even rarer. Larry Bird with a white flag.
I'd like to call out to all New Englanders, Boston Celtic fans throughout the country. It's time to lay down your weapons.
Yeah.
The battle is finally over, and it's time to move on. I can remember the first time I laid eyes on Magic Johnson. We played on an all-star team back in college. I could not believe what I was seeing in practice. I actually thought I was a bad judge of talent because neither one of us got to play in the games. But I can remember going home and telling my older brother, I just seen the best basketball player I'm probably ever going to see in my life. And he started quizzing me, asking me questions. Well, how good is he? I said, well, he's 6'9", he can handle the ball like a 5'9" guard, he can shoot the ball, he can pass like you can't believe. He goes, oh, come on. Well, after this 1979, the NCAA tournament, my brother come up to me, he says, yeah, he's a lot better than you.
That's brotherly love.
But don't get it twisted. Bird wasn't getting soft. Rookie Clyde Drexler met Larry Bird, and Larry introduced him to something called humility.
I was guarding in my rookie year. He looked at me and he goes, you can't stop me. And I looked at him and I said, gosh, boy, you're so confident. He goes, confident? You're a rookie. You don't know anything. He proceeded to score like 10 straight points on him. Coach took me out the game. He walks by and he's laughing at me.
There's confidence, and then there's Larry Bird whispering your future before detonating on it and walking off like it was cardio.
I get a charge when I tell someone on the opposing team that I'm going to hit the last second shot and then do it. That's what.
Ooh, there it is, kids. That's the look again. You see it every once in a while. Larry puts that Hick from French Lick face on, that mask, right? Every once in a while, he shows you what lives under that mask. And those eyes. Look at those eyes. The assassin.
What it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Tie game. 13 seconds to play. Celtics basketball.
During the timeout, I'm going to a play, and about that time, Larry steps in and says, Coach, why don't you just give me the ball and tell everybody to get out of the way? Mm-hmm. It's Larry. And when he wants the ball, he wants the ball. After the timeout, we walked back on the court, and then Xavier was guarding him. So he tells Xavier, he says, I'm getting the ball.
I said, I know, I'm going to be waiting. And he said, I'm going to get it right here. I'm going to shoot it right in your face.
5, and Bird has the basketball.
Double team.
Look out.
He came out right about that exact spot. He shot a shot right in my face. And, he was like, I didn't mean to leave 2 seconds on the clock. He wanted to shoot it with 0 seconds on the clock. I walked back to the sideline like, damn.
Next up is when Larry Bird set up Kevin McHale like it was a prank show.
I was getting ready to start a game and get up to the jump ball, and Larry said, just out of the blue, he goes, go ahead, Kevin, tell Elvin Hayes what you told me. And I didn't tell him anything. And I said, well, go ahead and tell him. Like, you said you were going to kick his ass. And I'm like, oh, man. And Elvin Hayes is looking at me. Well, at that point, it was hard to say no.
Elvin Hayes was a big man.
I guess so. But, Larry just got stuff started up. Larry is a funny guy.
But the Birdman didn't just clown others. Sometimes he turned the mic on himself.
This group of guys here, there's a lot of debate going around who had the best team, the ones in the 60s or the one in 92. I don't know who had the best team, but I know the team in 1960 was a hell of a lot tougher than we were. Because I couldn't imagine the 92 team getting in covered wagons for 8 days, going across the country.
I'm telling you, he could be a stand-up comedian.
Jumping in the Atlantic Ocean, swimming for 6 days, then walking 3,000 miles to the Coliseum in Rome for $1 a day. Thank you.
And just in case you thought Bird's game didn't pass the eye test, let's bring in a Boston native with no reason to lie.
Growing up in Boston, people all used to always talking about that he can't jump, he can't do this, he can't do that. And, a lot of my friends was like that. So, I got to the league. I called all my friends back up. I said, all that trash that you were talking, you need to squash all that. This man is great. He can, whatever you were saying for a man who can't jump, he's demolishing everybody.
So your guys are saying, how can you let this?
Career averaged 10 rebounds plus a game, boys and girls. He got in there and did work.
He's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on everybody. He's doing it on the best defensive players in the league.
Larry didn't need to jump. He just needed you to believe he couldn't, then torch you anyway. All right. So Bird couldn't jump. But according to Bill Walton, that's exactly what made him even more dangerous.
I don't need a 42-inch vertical if I'm 6'9".
Here's Larry, who can't jump this high. I saw him dunk in one of these videos. I couldn't believe it. It must have been a Photoshop or something. And Larry, who couldn't run faster than I can move today. I'm
Bill
61 years old. I've had 37 orthopedic operations. Both of my ankles are fused. I've got a fused spine, and my knee's just been replaced. Larry, at his peak, couldn't run faster than I can move today. Yeah, with all these guys playing above the rim and just dominating everything, there was Larry grabbing every rebound, every single rebound. And instead of just putting it right back up, he would go run out to the three-point line and just throw it up there and not even look at it, just run down the court going like this. And in that game, I was playing so poorly that Larry Bird came up with his regularly repeated mantra, where he would go to Casey Jones during the dead ball situation and says, Casey, you can either take Walton out or you can take me out. It's your choice.
That's true.
And Casey Jones always
take it out.
the right decision.
With Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, and Dennis Johnson in the background, and Danny Ainge. And I think our only downfall at the time was Bill Walton was coming in as our sixth man.
Hey, Larry, how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Larry.
Good, Larry Bird, Bill Walton, nice to see you.
Hey, well, how you doing?
And Larry Legend didn't just play the game. He played you.
If you take it too far back, what happens? I don't have really no direction of the ball. I don't really know where it's going to go. It's more of a throw.
Make it anyway.
Of course, me,
And if you thought that was poetic, wait until Larry starts giving out holiday trauma. Because coming up is when Gary Payton got a Christmas present from hell.
Bird used to tell me, look here, man. I'm going to go shoot this motherfucker jumper in your face right there in that corner. And it's going to be your Christmas present. I'm going to wrap it up and bust your head open. All that shit. He was the coldest dude I ever seen with that shit, man. Everybody be talking about these greats. They don't be always mentioning him. He was the shit. Yeah. Shit, man. He'll give it to you any way he wanted to. Any way he wanted to. Larry Bird was cold. Cold dude, man.
Now don't forget, GP is a multiple-time all-defensive player. One of the best defensive players probably in the history of the game, right? And he didn't even get Larry at full tilt. He got 1990-91 Larry at the tail end of his career when he was about to bow out. Imagine if you got 1986 Larry Bird. GP wouldn't have stood a chance. Still didn't.
But for Chuck Person,
Rappelman,
he learned that being Larry's neighbor didn't come with neighborly treatment.
Chuck works for me in the summer. He mows my yard. So I see him every day. If it wasn't for Chuck, I'd be averaging about 12 points a game over my career. So I have a lot of respect for Chuck, but a lot of times he reminds me of my little brother. I want to beat him as bad as I possibly can every time out.
Bird diagnosed you and then performed the surgery while giving commentary and charging you by the minute. Sean Kemp found that out the hard way.
Good story.
I go to the game on the early bus. I get there. They come out on the court. They say, "Hey, Sean, you starting tonight against Larry." And I was like, I'm all for it, though. So the X-Man, he didn't play. He had a sore knee. But my point to you is this: Larry gave me 50 and 3/4.
Oh my! he was hitting everything.
And he talked to me the whole entire game.
What did he say?
Well, first of all, he asked me to jump ball. He said, "You the cat that broke all my records in high school, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He goes, "Yeah, you're the one that used to dunk my brother too, right?" Now, Eddie.
I got something for you.
He said, "I got something for you tonight." So every shot he was calling, at the defensive end, he would tell me, he'd be like, "When I get down to the other end, I'm going to pump face you, get a hand one on you, look at you, go off the glass." That's how cold Larry was.
I got to ask the question real quick as we keep hearing these stories over and over again. Any of you out there in YouTube land, in your athletic endeavors throughout your lifetime, ever run into anybody like Larry Bird, someone who just lit you up like a Christmas tree, talked trash to you, told you what they were going to do, and just did it, and you just had nothing to come back with? I can't say I have, but dang.
Meanwhile, Kevin McHale got a front row seat to the Bird Show, and sometimes the show started with hot dogs and a snowstorm.
I think the story that sums up Larry the best was back then when we flew commercial, we didn't fly private. We played in a Tuesday night game in Cleveland. And of course, we got up for the first flight out. We had a game on Wednesday night in New Jersey. Snowstorm hits Cleveland. We're at the airport at 7 in the morning. Flight's canceled at 7. It's canceled at 8. It's canceled at 9. It's canceled at 10. Canceled at 11, 12. We finally leave about 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon. We fly up to New Jersey. Now the storm has kind of moved into Jersey. And the bus driver says, "Well, I can't get to the hotel and to the arena. I can only go to one place." Well, we had a game that night. We go to the arena. So we get to the arena, and we're dragging. And we're sitting around the locker room, and, and everybody's kind of, we're tired. And, and all of a sudden, the coach gives a little bit of a speech of, "Come on, man, guys, we're playing basketball. Let's get ready to go." And Larry stands up, and Larry says, a couple other few choice words, and he says, "I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to take it out on their rear ends." So I was like, "Oh, all right, so let's go." So we go on the floor. Elbert King sitting there, and Larry walks up to Elbert King and goes, "Don't take this butt whooping personally. I've been eating hot dogs all day." And then Elbert King looks at him like, "You've been eating hot dogs all day? What's that got to do with me?" And we went out and just hammered him. I mean, we terrorized him. And that was Larry. There was no excuses. I mean, he just played. And I tell you, that was just his competitive nature. But a day when you fly all day and eat hot dogs in the airport, best thing was Elbert's look on his face like, "What hot dogs got to do with me?"
You guys used to fly commercial?
Yeah. Yes, we did.
I never knew that.
That's the takeaway.
Are you serious? Yeah, I never knew that. Seriously? Dude, Shaq. Oh, no way. Shaq. Seriously, Shaq, let me tell you something. Not only we fly commercial, we flew coach too.
A lot of times. Seniority. How about
Yeah, seniority.
Yeah.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah.
You ever get the middle seat on a coach flight?
Oh, yeah.
Different era.
I did. It was awful. I think my first 2 years I flew coach. It was awful. Because we had like 8 guys that was over 30.
Seriously?
If you ever thought Larry wasn't that good, you're not alone. Brian Shaw thought the same thing until he met the 2-on-1 apocalypse.
I was like, man, they letting this white boy who can't jump, who's not athletic, kill them like that. He ain't that damn good until I got there. And I remember one of the first practices, he told me,
some just had to learn the hard way.
Play you guys 1-on-2. up to 7, right? And so, like, come on, man. He was like, the only catch is I get the ball first. Me and Reggie look at each other. We like, yeah, all right, man, whatever.
So the next thing you know, it's 6-0.
Yeah.
Right? We ain't even touched the ball yet. He hits his first 6 shots.
Yeah.
So when it got to be 6-0 and we go into 7, we because it would be like one of us would guard him and another one would be ready to try to get the rebound. So we was like, fuck that. We double teamed him. He finally missed. We got the ball. And then we just kind of played keep away from him. We end up coming back and winning 7-6. So then I was like, and that was one of my early experiences with him. I was like, okay. All right, he got a little bit more than what I thought he had. Then when we started playing, he was cooking everybody, but talking shit and telling them about it.
And if you thought race gave him some kind of advantage, Larry didn't want it.
I remember him, he was cursing under his breath. And I asked him, I said, Larry, what's going on with you? He says, you guys are being disrespectful to me. And I says, what are you talking about?
You know what's coming.
He says, you guys are putting a white guy on me. That's disrespectful.
Wait, who's the white guy you put on him?
I can't remember who it was. I just started laughing. I had no comeback. But he says, it's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me. And I'm sitting there like, I'm laughing in the middle of a game.
Even Larry Bird thought Larry Bird was too good for your best white defender. Did he lose it with age? Not really.
I'll go first. Get back there and be quiet. Hold this for me. I'm busy. Lifetime Achievement Award. That means you've been around a long time. In Magic's case, probably a little too long. But, I see all these highlights. Haven't seen a lot of them for a long time. But, I played for the Boston Celtics, if you didn't know that. And very proud, too. Played with a lot of great teammates. Even played with some Hall of Famers. Dave Cowens, Pete Maravich, my favorite, Bill Walton, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, and Dennis Johnson. And Kevin Pritchard. Well, I had to get that in there because he's my boss now, so...
Bird didn't care if you were nice or if you were Dirk Nowitzki being honored decades later. He respected greatness, but never gave away the crown.
I was 15 when Dirk came in the league. Now I'm 62. Like I told Scotty years ago, one more year. You guys are too easy. Why not 2? But Dirk, thank you for all the memories. God bless you, brother.
Even Clark Kellogg, one of the nicest guys in basketball, wasn't safe.
Well, you were too nice. I'm sure Larry Bird didn't trash talk you because you're a nice guy.
He trash talked everybody.
He was non-discriminatory in regards to who got.
Wait, what would he say to you? You're one of the nicest guys on the planet. What could
Well, I didn't get the brunt of it, as I've heard over the years. Get your hands off of me. It's gonna be a long night. That kind of stuff. You can't guard me, And he would do it like a ventriloquist because you couldn't see his mouth move.
Was that because of the mustache?
That may have been part of it. But man.
He was cocky, confident, calculated, and absolutely convinced his team was better than yours.
And I don't think this team could beat our 86 team in Boston.
Larry, everybody's talking about
That's just because Patrick Ewing's not a real center.
Tell me about the Harry and Larry show. Larry? The Harry and Larry show. So everybody just picked up on it. I'm trying to pick his mind. Larry is one of the best players that ever played the game. And I'm trying to pick his mind to see what he did to get himself there.
That story. Patrick said I could pick his mind. It took me 3 minutes. Now he gets a chance to come back.
Larry!
Took me 1.
Come on, Larry.
And when the Dream Team found itself in Monte Carlo, shifting from unity to hierarchy, Magic versus Jordan, guess who had no need to shout for attention?
As much as it was 5-on-5, we could see in Monte Carlo that it was gravitating towards, Michael and Magic.
Magic was hesitant to surrender his place on the mountaintop.
Mm-hmm. You got to take it, young puppy.
He needed to say, no, I'm on the top of the mountain now.
Magic was saying, look, NBA's not yours yet. I'm still here. Michael's like, no, it's over. This is mine. And the funny thing was Larry was sitting on the side going,
it's his.
But the thing about Bird is that he never just beat you. He told you how, where, and when, and then made sure you remembered it.
We were playing in Phoenix, and we were way up. We were like 15. We have the worst fourth quarter in the history. We're terrible. And Larry's bad. Larry's missing shots, throwing it to the other team, throwing in the third row. And they come back, and somehow, they go up 2. So we have a play, out-of-bounds play. I'm taking it out, and Larry says, I'm going to bust off the play, and I'm just going to come out, and I'm going to shoot a 3. And I'm like, we're down 2. I'm like, no, don't do that. I'm like, let's shoot a 2, please. Go to the hole and try to get fouled. Let's just get into overtime, see if we can't win this game. And Larry says,
Larry doesn't want to play overtime.
3 on him. I'm like, oh my gosh. So he tells the Phoenix bench, tells the coaches, yeah, I'm just fixing to bust a 3 on you guys and just go home. I'm tired of this. And he gets the ball, jumps out, busts the play, comes out, gets the ball at the slot, shoots the ball. As the ball's in the air, he kind of turns towards the Phoenix bench and yells, told you so. He stops running to the locker room. And it went in. And I just started laughing. I was like, oh, man.
Death threat? Even that didn't rattle him.
I can remember in L.A. in the Game 5 of the championship series, we was out there, and we were down by 2 or 3 points at halftime, and we come out to warm up before we started the third quarter, and KC come walking out, and he called me over. He said, Larry, he said, I hate to tell you this. He said, there's been a death threat on your life. I go, what? He says, well, there's been a death threat, so you got to make a decision whether you want to finish the game or go back and sit in the locker room and wait till we get done or leave the arena. That's why I'm going to play. So Casey just turns and walks away. I go right through the layup line on the other side, and I look over, and here's come Casey pointing at me. I walk over to Casey. I said, now what? He goes, well, the horn's getting ready to blow here, Larry. He said, whatever you do, don't come to the huddle. He said, could you please stand out here? He said, could you please stand out here at center court? He said, you never know, the guy might be a bad shot. So just when the horn blows, I walk over to KC. He's drawing on the play. I put my arm around him. He looks up, puts his head down, squats down a little bit so the guys are surrounding him. He goes, thanks a lot. Now, you got to understand, this is in the finals of the NBA and how cool Casey was under them circumstances.
And when it's all said and done, when the lights go out and the game is over, Isiah Thomas said it best.
If you put all of us in a room, Magic, Jordan, myself, and Bird probably be the guy who walks out of the room at the end of the day.
No stat sheet could ever capture the psychological
Larry did like to fight.
The fearless delivery, and the
so that's what he's referring to.
Of how Bird talked you into your own humiliation and then backed it up without flinching. And we're still not done telling the story of Larry Legend. Hit play on this next one. NBA legends reveal Larry Bird. 1 hour trash talk stories.
When the time I got to the end, I said, damn, that brother can play. Hey, let me tell you something. When I got the newspaper the next morning and saw Larry's picture, I said, damn.
Man, look at this. All right, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed more Larry Legend stories. There were a few new clips in there that I didn't even see. So that was good to see. Until next time, we'll do this all over again. Like, comment, subscribe. Naked Truth is out.